Letterman, how do you have it through 3 rounds?
Okay, Jim, 3-0, 30-27, Marco Antonio Barrera. Jim, you gotta love that right hand. At least I do. You know, Robbie Peden's got that left hand all the way down. Now, number one, all you can do with that left hand down there is throw an up jab. And when you throw an up jab, you certainly don't get the snap of the power into it. And not only that, you leave your jaw wide open for Barrera to nail you with a lead right hand, which happened in round 3. 3-0, Barrera.
Fighter who holds his left hand down like that is generally trying to invite the right hand to counter it with something, but I don't see that Peden has been able to do that yet.
Barrera got something in his eye and was momentarily distracted. And now there's blood flowing from just outside the left eye of Marco Antonio Barrera. So now Barrera has been cut. And that could give Robbie Peden some new confidence. I'm being told it was a headbutt which caused the cut. Barrera's facial expression never changed.
No.
Roger Bloodworth told Robbie Peden to go out and be the aggressor in this round, and Peden has tried. Now Barrera must deal with the distraction of blood outside his left eye.
Is that blood coming into his eye, Emmanuel? Can you tell?
I don't think it is here, but I can't really tell there too much. But this is Peden's best round so far. But he still is easy to get hit. His head beats up. He fights in a very good style. It's very difficult for Barrera to fight, but still he doesn't have the best defense himself.
But he seized the aggressor role.
Yes,
he seems to have put Barrera back on his heels a little bit. In this round, Marco isn't throwing as many punches and is getting hit a lot more often.
Yeah, once he saw the blood, it really stimulated him, whereas a lot of guys, it doesn't sometimes.
Yeah, Peden seems to have risen up, seeing the blood there on Barrera's face. He's landed a couple of really good body shots.
And he's having a good round.
Little left hook by Barrera. Peden steps beyond that one. Good left hook inside by Robbie Peden. Barrera backs him up with 3 more jabs and whips a right hand onto Peden's face. But all in all, Robbie Peden had his best round of the fight so far.
Yeah, it's going to give a lot more confidence to Peden when he gets back to his corner, I think, after that round. But Barrera didn't do too much neither after he got cut. He seemed to be pretty much concentrating on that cut.
Do it just like you did there, right in a circle. Now, when you turn him this way, I want you to step up and throw a 2 or 3 punch combination. Take it.
Okay, we just got to go and use our boxing to score points. That's all we have to do, score points.
The Nevada State Athletic Commission says that the cut was caused by a punch. Our video replay seems to suggest that the cut was caused by a butt. In fact, this one seems pretty clear on video replay. This is an area in which we're all fallible, and certainly the replay is a great advantage, and of course, the commission doesn't have it because they don't have a monitor. And incidentally, I've been saying for years, Emmanuel, that I think judges should have a monitor so that they can get an alternative view while they're scoring the fight.
Yeah, I think they definitely do have it in other sports.
This is the only sport in which you have the electronic enhancement and don't use it to amplify referees' decisions.
And some of those decisions can be crucial.
I'm not sure what you're saying, Jim. You mean
I'm
the
saying
judges
that all
themselves?
the judges should have a monitor sitting next to them, as well as, incidentally, one on the other side of the ring for the commission, so that if our replay shows that this blood was caused by a butt, they can know it.
Well, I get that, but I don't get what good it would do to the judges to have. They're watching the fight live.
Yes, but they also tell us that sometimes they are blocked by a fighter whose back is to them along the ropes, or that they're blocked by the referee. And if so, they could look at a monitor for an alternative look.
Only if that whole round was replayed.
No, they could look at the monitor at the moment at which their vision is blocked to get an alternative view. In other words, when their view is blocked, they glance at the monitor and they'll get a different look. That's what announcers do, incidentally.
No holding, no holding.
Fifth round of a scheduled 12. Marco Antonio Barrera in the light blue trunks, Robbie Peden in the black.
Let him go, let him go.
A tactical fight so far.
Yes, and at this stage right now, I'm studying Barrera's mind. I think he's beginning to realize that he's in a very serious fight, and he's taking a whole different attitude about this now. Even though he's always been serious, I think he's more serious now and realize that he could lose this fight even possibly.
Barrera stepping forward into a right hand. Peden busted him back with a little left hook. Barrera blocking both those punches with his elbows. Now blocking with his gloves. Misses twice with the jab. Peden able to elude those punches with his head. Easier to hit him to the body. Now Barrera begins to put the stick back on Robbie Peden.
This is a telling round because Peden had his best round the last round, and instead of coming out and being able to build on it, he's been stopped cold.
Big right hand by Barrera.
Yeah, he's putting his punches together.
Hardest punch of the fight.
So if there was a little momentum there, Barrera has reversed it.
Stemmed the tide.
With a lot of confidence. With movements. You're in good condition to go 15 rounds.
Not going to 1-2. It's right there for you. Step up inside. Quit backing out. Step up inside. Go to 1-2. I don't want you worrying about distance or nothing. Let your hands go. You're giving it to him. And when he does, I told you he's going to fire. The only way you're going to stop him from firing those quick counter punches is for you to come again. You got to throw a 1-2, then come again. If you have to throw a 1-2 and rough him up a little bit, then do it. But right now is the time to take it.
Roger Bloodworth is not one of those trainers who allows you to cruise through a fight if your opponent is the guy who's winning the rounds. He's not somebody who sits there and says everything's fine or the referee's against you. Roger Bloodworth, when Fernando Vargas was in desperate trouble in the last 2 rounds against Winky Wright, raised his voice and got Vargas to throw 110 punches per round and come back and win the fight.
Just to win a close decision, he had to do all of that. But, you know, I think that he's telling Peden right, but Peden has got a lot of beautiful defensive upper body movement in terms of being difficult, but he's not that effective because he doesn't punch that much.
What he's telling Peden is you're going to have to step up inside and throw punches.
Right there.
What he told him was quit backing out, meaning that he wants Peden to go forward all the time. But Barrera says, okay, you come forward, I'll rake you with the right hand. Because as long as Peden's going to come forward with his left hand below his waist like that, Emmanuel, Barrera can just pop him with the right hand.
Yeah, and he does get hit a lot, but he is a tough guy, though. It's one thing you can't never underestimate having a guy that's just physically big, in this case here, 13 pounds difference, and then mentally very tough.
Peden showing you the tough guy part of him as he waves Barrera forward.
Barrera is not going to drop his hands and invite him to hit him on the chin.
Now, it's pretty hard to play mind games with Marco Antonio Barrera. Peden's right hand partially blocked. Barrera does a very good job of getting his gloves on opponents' punches. Peden lands a little left hook and dances by. Barrera constantly taking small steps. Marco Antonio Barrera, a professional ever since age 15.
You know, I give him a lot of credit. He's fighting a very smart fight. You see, he has a very elusive target for big power shots, so he just resorted back to boxing, relax, and then occasionally throwing a power shot.
Right.
But he's got him relaxed watching the jab now.
16 years as a professional for Barrera, 60 wins. The 2 losses to Junior Jones, 1 loss to Eric Morales, and the only night in his career when he was really, truly annihilated, Manny Pacquiao in San Antonio.
Beautiful.
Great right hand by Barrera. He dances and moves side to side, makes it very tough for Peden to find him.
That's what's made him one of the greatest fighters we've had in the last 15, 20 years. He's very diversified. He can do whatever he has to do to win a fight. And this looks like it could be a fight that may be a decision fight. So now he's starting to get into a mode of trying to prepare himself to win this decision if it goes the limit.
Don't forget your great conditioning. You got good conditioning, so keep it. Don't let him come and take your conditioning away.
And then when you take a step, take a nice step inside, let your hands go. You're not letting them go.
You're stepping up without punching.
Down twice the
Step it
power.
up.
Now for
Nice
speed, you'll
straight
get the
jab
power.
is a good best defense also. So like you said, step up, 1, 2.
Here we go.
Step up,
Now
1,
for
2.
speed, you'll get your
Use your
power.
left hand.
I expected more from Peden.
Barrera's jabbing him to death. CompuBox numbers through 6. Barrera landing 13 out of 34 jabs in every round. Peden throwing 29 jabs per round, but landing only 2. Harold, how do you have it through 6?
You know, Jim, I don't see how Robbie Peden can expect to win this fight with his hands down like that. Because Marco Antonio Barrera just can't miss him with the left jab or with that straight right. Round 6, I thought Robbie Peden got a little bit more active, a little bit more busy, at least in the first 2 rounds, just like you saw there, and did enough to pull it out, even though Barrera had a good last 30 seconds. 58, 56, 4 rounds to 2, Marco Antonio Barrera.
I have it 5 rounds to 1 for Barrera.
Incidentally, Peden's trainer, Dan Goosen, was proud of his moment at a news conference a couple weeks ago when he unequivocally predicted that Peden would knock Barrera out, not just win the fight, but knock Barrera out. You gotta love Dan. He's a big man who talks big, and he knows how to promote. Straight right hand for Peden. Watching Barrera against the somewhat unconventional Peden, are you reminded of Barrera against the extremely unconventional Prince Nassim Hamed?
You know, I was trying to avoid talking about that. But no, the difference was that this year, Peden has been prepared. He's prepared and trained properly for this fight, whereas Hamed didn't. But one thing that is still obvious, the elusive style that Peden has is still a problem for Barrera compared to more of the stationary guys. But Peden doesn't have the punching power of Hamed by no means.
No, did Prince Nassim actually take Barrera lightly, thinking he was simply going to blow him up?
Yes, he did. When I would go into the room where he was training, he was always watching films of Barrera and Junior Jones. He never even watched. He didn't even watch the films of the fights where he had recently where he looked so good. If you remember, before the fight, Barrera's fight just before that, I had even mentioned that I wished that he could get Hamed out of the fight. That's how good Barrera had looked leading into that.
And since the time when Barrera technically dismantled Prince Nassim, Naz has had one more fight and seems basically to have retired from the sport.
Yes, and Barrera's fighting a very good fight right now, considering the style of this opponent and the toughness and the weight disadvantage.
Once again, Marco Antonio Barrera unofficially entered the ring at 130 pounds, exactly the weight at which he weighed in. You almost never see it.